Welcome to INAN's Student. INAN Student is a platform for law students to come here and deliver a lecture on the topic of their choice. Today we have with us law student Aditya Borkar. He is going to speak on charges under Companies Act 2013. He is from Subhash Desai College of Law. So without wasting further time, I would request him to commence with the lecture. Thank you.
Hello, myself Aditya Borkar from Subhash Desai College of Law. So friends, today I'm going to talk about charges under Companies Act 2013. What is charges as per Companies Act 2013? According to section 2 subsection 16 of Companies Act 2013, charges means right or lien created on a property or assets of the company or undertakings of the company, which has been mortgaged, pledged or hypothecated. The Act prescribes for registration of charges by from the ROC. So who creates a charge? As per section 77 of the Companies Act 2013, charges has to be registered by the company. Whereas if a company fails to register the charge, it should be registered by the person who is a charge holder under section 78 of the Companies Act 2013. So friends, what are the property which should be which are responsible for the registration of charges? It includes movable and immovable property which has been mortgaged or pledged or hypothecated. So what are the essential of charges? So there are mainly two essential of charges, which are charge creator, means the person who creates a charge, which is a company, and a charge holder in whose favor the charge has been created. So what are the types of charges? So basically there are two types of charges, that is fixed charge and floating charge. Fixed charge refers to a charge created on a specific property which is ascertainable and definite in nature at a time of creation of charge. It is a property created on present property and it is specific in nature. Under the circumstances, borrower has the right to utilize such property in the daily business activity, but he does not have a right to dispose of such property. While dealing with such property, the charge holder interest should not be affected. Now let's talk about floating charge. So floating charge refers to charge created on a block of property or a bunch of properties. The value of such block of properties keeps on fluctuating. Therefore, it is a charge created on a present as well as future properties, and it is not definite or ascertainable in nature. Under these circumstances, company continue to deal with such property, and company also has a right to dispose of such property, because it is based on present as well as future property. However, when company dispose of such property, the rights of the charge holder should not be affected. Now the next point is crystallization of charge. What is crystallization of charge? It is a process of converting a floating charge into a fixed charge. It has been created by charging a fixed charge is charged on a converted on a bulk of properties to a fixed property. When a crystallization of charge happens, so the crystallization of charge happens when a company gets into liquidation, when the company creates or carry on any business which has been inactive for 2 years, when company makes default in repayment of loan to the creditors or debenture holders, and they have taken a right over their securities by appointing a receiver or a manager for the position of the property charge, or when on the happening of event which has been specified in the deed. So what are the effects of crystallization of charge? Upon the crystallization of charge, the floating charge gets converted into fixed charge, and the charge created on a specific property is created on a specific property. Upon crystallization of charge, the charge holder gets the priority right over unsecured and equitable charge holders. So let's talk about registration of charge under section 77. As per section 77 of Companies Act 2013, it shall be the duty of the company to register the charge created on a property, whether tangible or intangible, situated in India or outside India, whether within a period of 30 days from the date of creation of charge. The application for registration of charge shall be in form CHG 1. In case the charge has been created on debt securities, the registration of charge shall be done in form CHG 9 within a period of 30 days from the creation of charge. So, when the application of registration has submitted to ROC, the ROC will register the application in following manner. If charge is created before the commencement of Companies Amendment Act 2019, then it should be registered within a period of 300 days from the date of creation of charge. If registration of charge is not registered within such period, then it shall be registered within a period of 6 months from the commencement of Companies Amendment Act 2019 and payment of prescribed fees. In case the charge has been created after the commencement of Companies Amendment Act 2019, it should be registered within a period of 60 days from the date of creation of charge. However, if it is not registered within such period, then a further extension of 60 days can be allotted. Once the registration of charge has been complied with, the registrar shall issue certificate of registration of charge in form CHG2. So what are the consequences of non-registration of charge? If a charge has not been registered, then the charge holder shall be considered as unsecured creditor, which means he will have all the rights which have been conferred to the unsecured creditors. This does not mean that the company does not have the obligation to repay the charge holder. The company has the obligation to repay the charge holder as per the guidelines specified in Companies Act 2013. So, what are the section 78 talks about? It is the application for registration of charge by the charge holder, which means if the company fails to register the charge within 30 days from the date of creation of charge, the charge holder takes the initiative to register the charge by filing form CHG1 or CHG9 as the case may be. ROC on receipt of such application give notice to the company to show cause notice within a period of 14 days on receipt of such notice. If no reply has been given to the company to the ROC by the company, then the registrar shall register the charges, and all the expenses for registration of charge paid by the charge holder should be recovered by the company from by the ROC. So section 79 talks about implication of section 77 in certain cases, which means when will the registration of charge occur. So if there are two situations when the registration of charge occurs, which when a company creates a charge on any property, or when there is a modification of charge, then the company has to register the charge as per section 77. Once the registration of charge is done under modification of charge, the ROC will issue certificate of registration of modified charges in form CHG3. Section 80 talks about notice of charges. Any charge created on a property, assets or undertaking is registered under section 77. Any person acquiring such property, assets or undertaking thereof shall be deemed to have notice that the charge has been created on a property from the date of registration of charge. Section 81 talks about registration of charge to be kept by the registrar, which means registrar shall maintain a register for particular of charge created and registered in form and in manner as may be prescribed. The particular charge maintained by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs shall be online on their portal, which is www.mca.gov.in, which shall be evidence that the register of charge has been maintained as per section 81 of the Act. The register shall be open for inspection by any person on payment of prescribed fee. Section 82 and 83 refer to satisfaction of charge. When a company makes entire repayment of loan, then the company shall give intimation to the ROC for satisfaction of charge in form CHG 4, which shall be done within period of 30 days from the satisfaction of charge. ROC on receipt of such application of the company or by the charge holder allow such intimation of payment of satisfaction of charge within a period of 300 days of satisfaction of charge. Before registration of satisfaction of charge, the ROC will ask for representation of the charge holder by issuing a notice within 14 days. If there is no representation by charge holder, the charge holder shall order for memorandum of satisfaction of charge, which shall be entered in the register of charge kept by him under section 81 of the Act. The ROC, on being satisfied that all the requirements have been complied with, shall issue registration for satisfaction of charge in form CHG 5. And certification of charge, registration of charge should be a conclusive evidence that all the payments have been repaid by the company to the charge holders. Section 84 talks about appointment or cessation of receiver or manager. If a person been appointed as receiver or manager for the property being charged, it shall be the duty of the charge holder to file to the ROC and to the company his appointment in form CHG 6 within a period of 30 days of such appointment. Similarly, if the person is ceased to carry out his work, it shall be notified to the ROC or the company in form CHG 6 within a period of 30 days from the cessation. Section 85 talks about register of charge to be maintained by the company. The register of charge should be maintained by the company in its registered office, and it should be maintained in prescribed manner. Company shall maintain the register in form CHG 7. Instrument creating charge should also be preserved for a period of 8 years from the date of satisfaction of charge. ROC shall maintain the record in a chronological order as filed by the company. In case the register maintained by the ROC is not in a manner as prescribed, then an application for rectification should be made to the NCLT. The register of charge and the instrument of charge kept by the company shall be open for inspection by the members or any other person without paying any fees, and open to the person who are not the members of the company by paying a prescribed fee as may be specified in Article of Association of the company. What are the particulars of charges maintained in the register of charge? So the particulars of charges includes date and description of instruments creating charge, total amount of charge, date of resolution authorizing the charge, the list of terms and conditions on which charge has been created, name and address of charge holder. As I specified a topic of modification of charge, what is the term modification? The term modification includes variation in the terms and conditions of the agreement. It can be increasing or decreasing amount of the borrowing, or there is any change in the time or extension of time for repayment. However, such modification shall be done mutually or by the operation of law. Even if the right, it also includes the change in the right of the charge holder, and it can be assigned to the third party. It will be regarded as a modification of charge. So when there is a modification of charge, the company or the charge holder shall apply for registration of charge under section 77, and it will be considered as modified charge. So the section 86 talks about punishment for contravention. If a company fails to file with the register or contravene any provisions of the Act, The company shall be punishable with a fine which shall not be less than 5 lakh rupees, which may extend to 10 lakh. Similarly, if an officer in default shall be punishable for imprisonment which shall be not less than 6 months, and a fine which shall be not less than 50,000 rupees, which shall be extended to 1 lakh. Similarly, if any person willfully furnishes any false or incorrect information or knowingly suppress any material information which is required to be registered in accordance with the provision of section 77, he shall be liable for action under section 447 as fraud. So friends, this was my topic of charge under Companies Act 2013. Hope it was informative. Thank you.
Aditya, thank you very much. It was a nice overview of this concept of charges, and it was a very specific topic which you had selected for your lecture. So it was nice hearing you on that topic. A small token from Hammurabi to you.